Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to At the Inn of the Superb Owl 2. It's been a week since the biggest event in U.S. sports, and we've had some time to digest. We're going to look primarily at some of the trailers and the circus running around that whole thing. The fact that they probably should have just stopped the halftime shows in 2007 after Prince just put one over the wall. That was the high watermark. Boys, how was the game for you? I didn't watch shit. I watched part of the halftime show and like the 20 seconds of play left in the first half because I walked downstairs from replacing thermostats and my wife had it on. So how was it? What's going on, Seb? You were knee deep in work. So how'd that go?
It was the second half Super Bowl for the most part. The first half was the defensive juggernauts of both teams basically limiting the other team. But the head coach of the 49ers is a freaking idiot because he has no idea what the overtime rules are. So,
well, I think that's such a lame excuse because the referee explained them. Telling the world, right?
So the difference is the Chiefs actually had a plan and had practice overtime situations. So for those of you that don't know, in the playoffs, when it goes into overtime, both teams get a possession. So, and I believe in the regular season, if you have first possession and score a touchdown, the game is over.
It's over.
But they don't do that in the playoffs. So Kyle Shanahan wanted the ball in overtime, which is the wrong move every time that you go into a playoff overtime. You never take the ball first. And the reason being is you want to see what the other team does, and then you can create a plan based on how many points you actually need. Plus, you get an extra down because you don't have to punt it. If you're down and you're the team with the second possession, you go for it on fourth.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And so you have an advantage of getting the ball second. But Kyle Shanahan, the coach of the 49ers, was not privy to the rules of overtime and goes, we want the ball first. The whole Chiefs, it's all mic'd up. Even Pat Mahomes is like, seriously? They want the ball first? Okay.
Yeah, right.
So
now I'm gonna throw something at you here.
Yes,
could
sir.
it be just incredible faith in his defense?
Nope.
You don't think so?
No, there was a press conference with it afterwards, and they're like, we didn't know the rules.
Which I don't even know why they admitted that.
Why would you say that?
Right? You should just say, you know what?
We blew it. It's bad dialogue written for a bad script by the NFL higher up. They really need to hire better writers.
Well, and I think with Shanahan's bad coaching was he went away from the script that was working in the first half. Don't let Brock Purdy win the game for you. Give it to McCaffrey every time. Give it to him.
He had a beast of a game.
He was unstoppable.
Yeah.
And in the third quarter, I think they didn't run the ball once.
Well, it's not even running. Like McCaffrey was catching the ball too.
Do short passes, whatever. Yeah. Like just give the man the ball because he is gonna win you a Super Bowl. But I guess Shanahan had different ideas because clearly that dude can't win a Super Bowl to save his life because this is like the fourth time he's been in one and he's lost all four. So I don't know.
That's 0 for 2 for the Niners in how many years? Like 3 years?
Yeah, and he lost that game against the Patriots when the Falcons were up 27-3 at half, and they blew that game. And then there was another one he was involved in, and they didn't win that one either. Oops.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I chose that particular graphic for the tail end of the intro. For those of you that are just joining us, you can scroll back and see that. It's a new little fun thing I do while I'm waiting for you guys Saturday mornings. I just tack some sort of meme relevant to the thing on the end of the.
We like it.
Yep.
I have a bit of
the 49ers seem to be becoming the Bills now. I clearly
they've won it before though, so it's not like they've never won it before. But recently they can't do it.
They're like the Millennium Bills. Like they're just turning that way because this is the third
consistently number 2. Right.
And it's frustrating to watch because they're better than that. And the Chiefs, this was the weakest Chiefs team and they just banded together behind the new GOAT. And I pity any team that plays that Chiefs team in the playoffs and they're winning in the fourth quarter because Mahomes is just going to come back and win the game anyway. So makes football, when you don't like that team, it makes football incredibly frustrating to watch because you know it's coming. You just know. It's like watching Tom Brady again. It's like we had that for 20 years. I'm done. Can we stop already?
I now know how people felt watching my Patriots for all those years.
God,
how much they hated
awful.
Because I'm just like,
yay,
God
they're
damn
losing.
It.
Oh, they won again. Damn.
So that's his third Super Bowl, right?
Mahomes.
Mahomes?
Yes, I believe so.
So he has 4 more to go to tie Tom Brady, and he's 28. So do you guys think he can do it?
He's lost. Yes, of course. He's lost 2 games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
In his career, 1 to Tom Brady. Fair enough. And can you guess the other team that beat them in the playoffs?
The Niners?
The Bengals?
Yes, the Cincinnati Bengals.
I could tell by the coy look you had on your face.
Yes, I wasn't.
That's
I
right.
wasn't sure if it was like this is a revenge for a beating, or Mike was going with the point of pride. But
they beat them in their Tyreek Hill heyday, so that's you can hang that on your whatever. And
I don't think they win next year. I cannot see them winning next year.
I couldn't see them winning this year, dude, because the AFC was stacked. And
they
Baltimore
got better near the end of the season.
Most overrated team ever, and
apparently.
And Lamar being the MVP, I'm sorry, but give me
a break. He had a hell of a season, though.
Their schedule is a joke.
Yeah, I know, but the MVP is based on the season, though, not on the playoffs.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Josh,
I agree. I don't think so either.
I don't want to see them win because I'm tired of that. I'm tired of it all. I'm just tired of the Chiefs.
Well, I hope nobody took my advice in August when I said the master lock of the century is to bet on the 49ers winning the Super Bowl. I was this close, but hey, what can you do?
Keep in mind, people, that if you did take that bet, you have to sue him personally, not the show, because we don't make any money off of this.
That's right.
So, I mean, you can sue
us all you want.
Too.
Yeah, so it was interesting. I'm in an interesting, with Kyle. I'm in an interesting spot too because I don't really get to watch the Super Bowl from start to finish. No. I kind of go into like the moments that everyone is screaming about, I guess. So I watch like all the best parts through it because I'm running a Super Bowl event at the pub. So, I can't just sit there and watch the Super Bowl for 4 hours. I have to do things. So, I know no one
exactly.
Really
Thank you, Sarah. You read my mind.
Wow, that's savage. Whoa. Okay. Well, good morning to you, Sarah.
But like I watched most of the game. The first half was a little frustrating because it was just
a defensive battle.
Like Zeb said, it was defensive dominance. And then I skipped the halftime.
Could get anything going.
No, I skipped the halftime show because I didn't care. And then we tried to take
it was not good.
That's what I heard.
I heard there was massive sound problems to no fault of Usher. There was like some sort of sound issues with
someone
the show.
forgot to hit the play button. Oops! Oh no! Hit the play button.
It's just the sound wasn't great, so I don't know. The comment deserves a Slim Jim.
I mean, it was all right when Ludacris came out. I kind of perked up from what I was doing. I went, oh, okay, we're doing this. But honestly, and I couldn't put my finger on why the outfits annoyed me. And then the meme came out of it because it was like the Globo Gym Cobras from Dodgeball.
Yes, I saw that meme. Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's the one.
Did you see the 2 accidents that happened on the during the halftime show? No. One of the roller skaters fell off the stage and broke an arm, and then one of the you can actually see it because it was on TikTok. One of the dancers on the pole slipped off the pole and slid all the way down.
Oh my
behind Usher.
That's amazing.
Oh, she fell off the pole.
I hope she's okay. We're just poking fun at the whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
She's fine. She made fun about it afterwards. So right. So but yeah.
Oh, and can you just imagine, even sitting there, if you're the skater with the broken arm, it's like I this is not how I wanted to go viral on my big opportunity. Right. I was just on national TV fucking up. So yeah, hopefully everybody's okay, but that's wrong way to go viral, kids.
Yeah, it's all over the internet or all over TikTok and YouTube. If you guys want to find it, go for it.
Yeah, and apparently she wasn't qualified to be up on that pole. I don't know if she didn't have any kids yet or wasn't divorced yet or whatnot, but support single mothers is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's good. So
I'm gonna get hurt.
But my son was awfully mad when the game was over because you could see it coming. This the whole overtime, and he's like, "Is this what I have
I
to
knew
live
they
with
were
all
going to
my-"
win as soon
See-
as Mahomes took it over. I'm just
Well,
like, they're
yeah.
not going to lose this.
And he's like, "Is this what I get till I'm 30?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is what you get till you're 30, Mister. Is Patrick Mahomes winning every other year forever? And it's just going to be really annoying."
And that's the thing.
okay.
And we see these in sports. I mean, not all the time, but it fairly regular. There's a dynasty set up,
Mhm.
right? Like it doesn't matter what sport. There's some team that pops its head up from the pack and will go on a 5 or 6 year run. I mean, the Patriots just finished it. The Chiefs are just starting it. You know, we're
Mhm.
Canadians. We go back to the Oilers in the 80s and the Red Wings in the Avalanche in the early 2000s, right? And then the Yankees have had theirs and the Bulls had their run. And then if you're not a fan of that team, you just fucking hate them. Like
yeah,
Tom Brady gets so much shit. So much shit. And all he's done is win.
He's the greatest ever, man. That's just
Yeah.
you realize, so he had a 22-year career, and I'm just doing this from memory, so I may be a little off, but he's made 10 Super Bowls in 22 years.
yeah, sorry. Laughing at
the
Josh's
audience is
comment.
still stuck on the pole dancing issue. Josh,
Well,
I mean, hey, buddy,
That's
it's
amazing.
a solid role
We have to
model.
have a conversation about your childhood later.
Yeah. And
Bring Dr. Phil.
you know
in.
what? Honestly, that probably could have improved the halftime performance if somebody had a nip slip or a cock flop or something.
Been there, done that already. They're not going to do that again.
Well, why not? I mean, give the people what they want.
That's right.
I mean,
Absolutely.
controversy.
Yeah, I would I would like to see more thought put into the halftime shows as far as guests because they fucking suck most of the time. I got excited for Chili Peppers until it was pointed out that none of them had their fucking instruments plugged in.
Yeah, that was oof.
Yeah,
that may not be their fault though. That may be a product of the Super Bowl people saying like, "No, we're just going to track it because it's easier instead of setting everything up."
Well, yeah, running all the cable, absolutely, I would believe that. However, it's one of those things like put a dummy cable in there.
Don't just well, maybe they did it on purpose. Maybe it was a big because Nirvana did the same thing, right? When they were on MTV and they were forced to play to a track, they made poke fun and drew attention to that whole situation. So maybe in a subtle way, the Chili's said, "You know what? Fuck you. We're going to make it obvious that we're not plugged in."
Right.
I could see them doing that, you know?
That's a good point. Like, I could just see the director out in the truck going, did they just unplug all their fucking instruments?
Yeah. Just because they wanted to play live and they weren't allowed to. So,
Yeah.
you know, they're like, screw you. I did rewatch the Michael Jackson halftime show. Oh, that was so good.
When was that?
So good.
It must be like 90
something.
early 91, 92.
Yeah, so I mean,
yeah,
Josh,
there's a big thing about her not actually playing the solo in that. So,
oh, and you know what? It doesn't bother me one way or the other. It really doesn't. It's just like if you're gonna try and make us believe something, then like finish it off. You know, I think Prince had the best one. They should have just retired the whole fucking concept after that. You know, it was the Super Bowl in LA. I think it was 2 years ago. With the with Dre and Snoop and everybody. Granted, I think a couple of the old school guys probably could have been swapped out for Fitty and Kendrick Lamar, Ice Cube in particular, but you know.
Michael Jackson was in 93 and he basically changed the way people viewed the Super Bowl.
Yes,
because he was the first one to like put on a show, like actually put on a show instead of just going out there and playing. Like
way to go,
I don't know if you guys remember, but he had this like he was like firing through the stage, and at some point he was like, well, it was an image, but he was on top of the stadium at the very, very top of the stadium, and people were like looking up at him, and then there's like a shower of sparks, and then he comes up from the stadium in the center, just up a la Rey Mysterio style, I guess, or you know,
yeah,
it was so good. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah.
But anyways.
All right. So the NFL is done for another year, boys. The football is going back to wherever
you can watch the summer league.
Well,
And
there's
then
What is
the
it called? The UFC or no, not UFC. the-
USFL or something, or the
Something
United
like that.
Football League, the UFL.
Yeah,
And I
something like
think
that. There's like a springtime league.
I'll pass.
um,
I'm busy for
But-
those 5 weeks, but yeah,
Yeah, it's something.
it'll be something. Hey, you know what? It's the NBA has the G League.
They
You know,
also have
baseball
summer
has
league,
the
too.
minors. You know, and I think this is a good springboard for players that don't get drafted and are trying to break in to the
Mhm.
big league, right? So the football's not terrible. It's like the CFL. Like the football's not like the CFL is great. It's not bad. I like to make fun of it in my house because it's just fun and it just.
Hey Matt, whatever
What-
happened to the XFL? Is that a thing at all anymore,
I
or
merged with the USFL and made the UFL.
is that what that was? Okay,
That's what happened. Yes.
okay, I did not know that.
you know,
So,
it's a good thing because when you look at what's below the NFL right now, the biggest thing is the NCAA. And there's a lot of players in there and not a lot of spots to go to at the end of every season. I know
No.
football has a really high turnover rate in players, and it's, your average lifespan in the NFL is only a couple of seasons, maybe 3 if you're lucky.
Two. I think it's 2.
unless you're an elite player,
Yeah.
But when
But
you
yeah.
look at 50 states, let's say the lower 48 states, each one having a minimum of 2 college teams in it, that's 100 outfits right there, with 100 teams of players looking for a small handful of roster spots, as they come out. So it's good to have the UFL. It's good to have the
there's
summer.
way more than that, man.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
also-
but let's just assume it's only 100.
Well,
Right, but
Division
they're-
1 is the big
are
league. There's
special
133 in Division 1 alone. And
It's
it goes
also
down to, like,
sad-
Division, yeah.
it's also
so-
sad to say that most people in Canada favor college football over the CFL, which is our professional league. And the college ball isn't even a professional league. It's a gateway to the professional league. But yet more people in Canada watch college football than our own
Oh yeah,
CFL. So
I'm guilty of it. Absolutely.
it's more entertaining. Like
I'll
at
watch
the
if
end of the
there's
day,
one of
it's
the
more
big.
entertaining.
Man, I'll watch
Yeah.
Alabama or Georgia or whatever. Like I'll put it on, just
Mhm.
because.
I mean, it's college ball down in the U.S. is no joke, and it's
Huge.
good football. And
Huge.
you follow that down, and I know, Josh. Thanks for listening. You're down there in the U.S., so you can verify that. But even you get into the southern states, and like high school football will draw tens of thousands of people.
Especially if you're in an area that doesn't have an NFL team, their college contingent of fans is massive, absolutely massive. And even some of the states that do have professional teams, it's still, you support your local high school or college, basically, if you live in the area. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean that's it, and you get the facilities in there. You just don't have the professional. Like, look at the center of the U.S. There's not a lot of major teams in there. I mean, there are states with absolutely nothing. Wyoming has nothing. South Dakota, North Dakota, Nebraska, nothing.
Montana.
Yeah, Montana,
so
Idaho. Like,
we
there's-
here are massive Virginia Tech fans. We have to be, because they use Enter Sandman as their kickoff song. You've seen that video? Have you seen that video?
I
Where
think
the
I've seen
whole
the
freaking crowd is just bouncing up and down. Oh my god, it is so cool. I'll
Sarah's
share it for you guys later.
Fuck Wyoming.
Shares in my bad
okay,
books.
so we're
Yeah.
okay, Virginia Tech, noted.
That's
We'll
it.
Virginia Tech.
go sports ball.
Go Spurs ball. Okay, trailers.
Trailers. Let's Seb, you have control here.
I have it all queued up. So
So
let's
we're
just
gonna-
watch
so-
them and then comment on them, I guess. So
All right,
You
yeah,
guys
we'll hit pause in between and see what we've got going on. All right, so the first one up looks to be Wicked.
correct.
I up until today have not heard of this, so let's see what's going on.
It's
Well,
from
it's
your
based on the
favorite
Broadway play,
franchise.
Yeah, it's based on the Broadway
Matt's
play.
favorite franchise. All right, here we go.
The best way to bring folks together
Something has changed within.
is to give them a real good enemy.
You're green. I am. Something is not the same. Something just takes over me. And when it does, bad things happen.
Once you learn to harness your emotions, the sky's the limit.
Don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid. It's the wizard who should be afraid of me.
All right, so what did we just see there? Really,
I don't know how I feel about it.
I'm.
Uh, the train was cool.
It's clearly a Wizard of Oz spinoff. So
Well,
is
it's how
this,
she became Wicked, I
Yeah.
think, is
yeah,
what
so
it
it's
is,
this
right? So
based on the stage play, the
That's what
Broadway
I said
musical.
about 2 minutes ago. I said it's based on the play.
it's
Okay.
based on the stage play, the Broadway.
I think it's based on the Broadway play called Wicked that's super successful.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to.
It
Google
might
it.
be based on the stage.
I think you should
Sarah-
Google it 'cause I might be wrong. I don't know.
About it. She's just, or she's having a stroke because that's all just a bunch of E's.
Is that an excited E or a E?
Yeah, apparently
an
there's
echo.
an echo in here.
There's
but
an
yeah.
echo. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems very CGI heavy, and I guess that's necessary because they're in a different world. Really, it's a little more bright and vibrant. That was the whole deal with the original Wizard of Oz. It was black and white to colors, vibrant colors. It was a
Yeah.
so I guess you kind of need the excessive special effects.
Well, you have to.
I know last week we talked about Return to Oz not being a great spin-off sequel, and they've had a couple of other ones. They did one, Oz the Great and Powerful, I think, a few years ago with James
was it-
Franco.
Yeah, I never did see that.
Um,
Well, that was
And
the
that-
wizard. That was like the wizard's backstory, right?
yeah, that was the Wizard's origin story, whereas Wicked is clearly the Wicked Witch's backstory. So
I think it looks
Um,
great. I want to see it. I'll go to the theater and see it.
I mean, it looks fine. I'm kind of in the
And
middle
don't
here.
forget The
It
Wiz.
looks
The Wiz.
fine.
I peed before we came on, but I'll remember that for later.
Mental
I don't
note.
know what
Oh,
the
the Wiz with Michael Jackson and was that Diana Ross? Were they in it together? You never heard of the Wiz, Matt? Maybe you should
No.
Google the Wiz. Google the Wiz.
Dude, I'm drawing a blank as
Google
well.
The Wiz.
What the- you guys know nothing.
Really, The Wiz?
The Wiz. It was like in the 70s.
It's a
Michael was like,
musical.
yeah, Michael was little. Like he was a teenager, maybe.
I don't. Was he in it?
Yes.
It-
I thought he
it's
was the
a
main character.
1978
Is he-
American
Was-
musical fantasy film directed by Sidney
Yep.
Lumet. Wow. Okay.
No
Uh,
idea that this was a thing.
It was today years old.
78. We were one when it came out.
Oh
Okay.
God, it is young. I'm looking at the photos from this, and it is young Michael,
Yeah.
Okay.
Afro Michael,
Oh yeah. Needs more Afro. The world
Richard
needs more
Pryor's
Afros.
in it. Okay.
and we had Nipsey Russell in there.
Well, that's
Yeah,
where
but
his like connection with Diana Ross came from, was doing that movie, right? So
It's a Joel Schumacher screenplay too.
Lena Horne's in there. Oh my God,
Interesting.
The Wiz is Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, well,
We know what Matt's watching tonight.
yeah, I might have to. I was
Do a
I
double
was looking-
feature of the of the
Sarah-
Wiz and the Return to Oz. Do a double feature. Thank you, Sarah.
Oh, you know what? That
Go from
sounds
good to horrible.
torture, but I'm into
Looks like
it.
apples and prunes.
Fantastic. 100%.
Yeah, so I'm all in.
I'm
all in
gonna
for Wicked.
say I'm not excited about it. I just think it's meh. Maybe it's because Disney's in some massive hot water. Did you hear about the lawsuit from the girl from Mandalorian?
Yes.
What's her name? Gina, whatever her name is.
Gina Carano.
Oh,
Do you
Gina
know-
Carano,
do you-
she's suing them now.
Do you
Yeah,
know
she's
Elon
still-
Musk is backing her and paying all of her legal fees
Beautiful.
because she was wrongly fired for some tweets that she put out, which I read the tweets and I'm just like, they're not
They were
they're
they
not
weren't that
horrible.
bad. They were
they're not
they-
bad. Like they're not
they
even
both
bad,
from-
right? So
But yeah, I don't think you should be canning people for that. I don't think it was so far. I probably should
Here's the
correct
thing.
that, because there are some things you should not say and do in public that should cost you your job. But I don't think they were bad enough to
it
go
wasn't.
that full Merc on her.
So there,
she was a highlight. Like it was honestly one of the
she was
down
great.
points
She was
in the
great. Yeah.
Mandalorian.
So she's suing them for wrongful dismissal of workplace, disciplinary whatever. And usually when you go up against like a big corporation, there's no way that you can actually fund a trial, so they settle it out of court. Except Elon Musk,
richest man in the
is
world,
backing her. So
right?
there's a rumor that he's actually going to buy shares of Disney because he's doing it to tank the Disney shareholder price, like the stock price. So it's going to go down, and then he's going to go buy a whole bunch of stock of Disney.
Oh.
He's going to take over Disney and say,
well, that's less cool because he's using her as like a tool for him to make more money.
Well,
I think that's.
I mean, it's a win-win for both of them, right?
I guess.
And honestly,
Like-
a corporation like that, like they're just gonna go. I don't feel like fucking around with this. How many zeros do you need in this check?
Dude, I read somewhere, and I'm thinking this was the number that over the last like couple of years, Disney has lost $150 billion.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Everything they do seems to
Just
turn
because
to shit now.
everything,
Billion?
everything
With a B.
might be
Okay,
a
I
million.
just wanted to clarify that.
Well,
That would be
150 million's a drop in the bucket, right? That's nothing for Disney.
Well, I mean, there was back in the 90s, there was a real easy way to win a lawsuit is you sue.
Sorry, it's 1.5 billion,
sue
not
Ted
150.
and his companies for under $250,000, and they would just cut you a fucking check.
Cool.
Yeah.
There were a lot of WCW wrestlers that just went, I've been wrongfully dismissed, or this. They'd come up with something and ask for like $250,000, which was usually 2 years worth of salary for some of these guys. And it's like, fuck, just go away, take the money and go away. And I feel like that's a strategy a lot of corporations would take, including Disney at this point. But she doesn't just want the money; she wants back on the fucking show.
She deserves it.
Well, her character on Mando was awesome. It was the
was
show
great.
actually. I think the
Yeah.
show suffered when they kicked her off the show because
I
Cara
knew
Dune
she
was
looked
an amazing
familiar,
character.
and then I didn't realize that she was an ex-UFC fighter until
Yeah.
I read the thing. I was like,
man.
oh, that's where I've seen her before. But
Like,
yeah,
she had a really
it's-
good rapport with
from IMDb.
Pedro.
Yeah. Sorry, it
So-
was $1.4 billion Disney has lost in 2023 because
That
of their
makes A
situation.
lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we move on to the next
You
one?
want to do another one here? Let's do
Let's
another
do
one.
it.
You all got it all queued up there because I
I
know that
do.
we're not going to watch all of them.
No.
I got it.
Let's see what's next.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, the only one.
All right, okay. It's been a challenging few years, for sure. But I'm happy. That is because of each and every one of you. I'm the luckiest man alive.
Make a wish, buddy.
Wade Wilson?
Who's asking? Whoa, 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 whoa. Is that supposed to be scary? Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
Good segue.
Mr. Wilson, you appear to have soiled yourself while unconscious.
I wasn't unconscious. Who are you? Why am I here?
Walk with me.
I love how they brought the TVA into this. It's really cool.
You are special. This is your chance to be a hero among heroes.
I smell what you're stepping in, Sensei. Your little cinematic universe is about to change forever. I'm the Messiah. I am Marvel Jesus. God, please! Oh my fuck! God, I love this part. Wait! Don't just stand there, you ape. Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that is awesome.
That's the best trailer
Yeah.
for sure of all of them. My
Yeah.
only fear with that trailer is that Wolverine is only going to be in it for a fraction of the screen time, which is disappointing to me. But I don't know for sure. I hope he's not. I hope he's in it for more than just a couple scenes.
I think he will be. I think they
Yeah. They creatively did the trailer just to show a glimpse of him. So, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so you saw that.
There's a lot of relevance, real world
I'm
relevance.
going to
to
let
some
you
of the
guys talk
comments.
on this for a minute because I have some thoughts.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, no,
Definitely
Matt, go,
throws
please.
Disney under some shade there.
Well, they kind of have to. I think he's the only one that can do it. I think if anybody else tried that, they'd get canceled. But Ryan Reynolds could do anything he wants. And yeah, I don't know.
I
Just-
think with Deadpool though, it's just there's a bigger story at play. And I believe Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool way, when they tell the audience, they're staying true to the source material of what Deadpool is, which
Very much
seems
so.
to have been so much twisting recently in movies where people go against the source material and try to new event ways. I'm like,
Sony,
Disney as well, and a lot of people have been pissed off with Disney. I'm like, if you can't think of new IPs, don't change the ones that are classics because we like them the way they are. But yet you're trying to change them and make them a new story, which doesn't work because you're just pissing everybody off by doing that. So, yeah, it looks good, but so correct me if I'm wrong, but everyone in the first shot is dead, right? That's just in his mind, right?
no,
no,
Didn't
they're
they-
all alive.
no, they're all not dead.
Oh, I can't remember what happened at the end. But didn't
Yeah,
she die
no,
in the
so-
second one? His girlfriend?
Yeah, well, Vanessa was killed, but he fixed that at the end.
Oh, because he went back in time, right?
Yeah, so like
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I
time
remember that.
travel shit just makes me
I hate it.
fucking mental.
I hate it.
It really does. It's just like, okay, we're gonna do a time travel movie, so we're gonna be able to kill all these characters off, and then we'll fix it at the end, and it'll just be like we wanted it to. Fuck
Well,
off.
Matt, did you guys watch Matt? You watched Loki, right?
Yes.
Yes. So the
Did not like the
TVA
first
is the greatest sort of avenue for time travel because you can go anywhere, any branch. It's not even time travel. You're just going to a different branch of the timeline.
It's different.
it's not-
It's time travel. It's dimension hopping. It's
Yeah, it's
multiverse
amazing.
hopping.
Yep.
DVA is what they need to do to merge these worlds.
Mm-hmm. It's the only way it'll work.
However, I thought season 1 of Loki was the absolute god awful worst fucking thing they've put on Disney Plus as far as the MCU is concerned.
Dude, I
Season
heard it
2 was
really good.
better, but
Season
it
two
was
is
still
a lot
a
better.
bullshit cop out in a lot of ways. I mean, they fixed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I understand why they're doing it. I'm not down with the fact that they couldn't find a better way for it. They're so deep into it, so I guess they really don't have
can't.
one. But I'm not
So
a fan.
Are
of
you
Deadpool.
are you concerned that the story's not gonna be as strong as Deadpool 1 or 2?
Well, Deadpool 2 wasn't all
No.
bad.
Deadpool 2 was extremely funny though. Like,
Well, it was funny,
It-
but I wouldn't say it was like story. Who cares what's happening in the movie? It's just all about the jokes and
I think
yeah,
I think the first Deadpool, which by the way also starred Gina Carano, who we were just talking about. She was Angel Dust
oh yeah,
in that one.
that's right.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, and so it was one of those things where nobody saw it coming. It was a passion project for Ryan Reynolds. It took him for fucking ever to get it done, especially after the way they dealt with the Deadpool character in Wolverine Origins, which was a solid film until the last 15 friggin' minutes. Deadpool 2, I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff they did. Really enjoyed the Juggernaut in that.
I think it was more of a comedy than the first one. So like I think in
They were
Deadpool
trying
2,
very hard for the comedy.
yeah, in
And
Deadpool 2, the scenes itself stand alone more, but like Deadpool 1 was like a better overall story.
Mhm.
Plus
there
the
was a-
villain in Deadpool 1, I can't remember the actor's name, but I freaking love that actor. He played what was the bad guy's name? Axel
I know
or
this
whatever
one.
his
It's
name is.
Ed Skrin.
He's so good. Yeah, he was the main villain in Rebel Moon. But
Yes. Let's. Oh,
But
Jesus,
he's
let's
so-
not get into that. But it's absolutely. I mean, Deadpool 1 took everybody by surprise, and they were super faithful to not necessarily the story so much, or the canon, but super faithful to the spirit of the character. And I think that's what caught everybody by surprise, especially since it grabbed all sorts of non-fans. It was very much not in the vein of, the standard MCU at the time, where it was the Avengers movies and Captain America and Thor and Ant-Man, and it pulled the audience in on something they didn't expect. And
so R-rated too, right?
it was
So,
R-rated. It dropped in February, which is a fucking dumping ground.
Didn't they drop it
for-
on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, something like that. But February's a month where it's just a dumping ground, because we got the hangover from the Oscar push. January is not so great. February's not so great. March starts ramping up, and it just blew the world away. Like it made like $1 billion, something stupid like that. I don't have.
It's what the world wanted in a superhero movie. That the,
Yes, absolutely.
That
It
the
was-
executives at the powers that be said, no, we can't do that because superhero movies are for kids. They're like, there's a lot of older adults that want to see Deadpool, are craving for like a R-rated Deadpool, and it kind of paved the way for superhero movies to take on a harder edge with a harder rating. Like you can go that route and be successful.
Absolutely.
You don't have to stay PG for all superhero movies. There is
Yeah,
an
and-
avenue where you can explore darker themes in superhero comics, right? So
The
Yeah.
worldwide gross for a movie released in February 14, 2016, being Deadpool 1, of course, what we're talking about, is a little bit over $750 million. That's unheard of
crazy.
for February.
yeah,
The thing I like, so we don't really see Hugh Jackman in there, but there is one shot as Deadpool is walking into, it almost looks like a casino or a fancy dinner party, and you can tell it's Wolverine's hair, and he's in the suit, and he's in his fucking patch persona, where he's like a gangster in basically it's the Marvel version of Hong Kong Madripoor. And I was like, yeah, we got Patch, let's fucking do this. They are ticking away at getting the X-Men moved over, which is TVA is probably going to be the way it goes. I know for anybody that hasn't seen it, there is a key component of that in the second post-credit scene in the Marvels. So, keep an eye out on that. I won't spoil it because Marvel's just recently hit for free on Disney Plus, but I'm looking forward to Deadpool 3.
Yeah, same.
It's
too.
the TVA thing actually makes me nervous because it's not up my alley of the storytelling I like.
I like.
I think
I enjoyed
Sarah's
Loki.
got a good point. Comic books aren't just for kids anymore. No, they are not. They aren't these 75-cent dollar things you can pick up at the store anymore. These things are $5-6 a piece. And if they put out a larger issue for whatever reason, I mean, you're looking at $8-9. Comic books are not for kids. They're not written with exposition dumps. So it's
I mean-
Deadpool 3. This is the one. Let's see how she rolls. Plus,
we have to trust in Ryan Reynolds. Like he doesn't miss except for
Mhm.
Green Lantern, but we just won't pretend that was a movie at all. But usually
I've never
his
seen
movies
it. I've
are
actually never seen
pretty
it, so.
good.
the big, and I feel like we'll get into this down the road, but the only thing I'd say on Green Lantern is they cast him as the wrong Green Lantern. Had they used the Kyle Rayner version instead of Hal Jordan, it would have worked better.
I have no idea what that means, and please don't pay
It's
attention to
just-
my cat
Yeah,
right now.
it's just a different character.
Oh,
with
yeah.
a different
Cat's
style.
at it again. Way to go!
And trust in Marvel Jesus.
Absolutely.
and
Marvel Jesus is going to save everybody.
All right, Seb, you got the next
yeah,
one. queued
let's
up.
do
We
it.
just roll straight
I'm
through it.
actually looking really forward to the next one here. Okay, so whenever you cue me up here, all right.
This film has everything.
Everything?
Oh yeah, I want to see this.
Nope.
So want to see this.
This does not seem safe.
We're getting tangled in exposition. Minerals. Oh. What's an ice crime? Are you saying ice cream or ice crime?
Ice crime.
Okay, it's just with your accent, it's hard. I'm not reporting an ice cream.
Yes, no, I get that.
Okay.
You're like sexy bacon.
What is this?
You know?
You need carbs!
It's my body double again.
I know.
I'm in everything.
What are you doing?
Just chilling down.
You even crying to Taylor Swift?
Doesn't everyone?
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I want to see that.
I just think that's
There
going
is
to be
it.
like a sleeper hit of the year. I think it's going to be really good. Plus, I'm a big Ryan Gosling fan recently. Like I never really watched much of him until like last year, and then I started watching a bunch of his movies. I'm like, he's a phenomenal actor, actually.
Well, I mean, he really stole the show in Barbie.
Well, he got nominated. So
Yeah, he really did. It was yeah, and I was impressed.
That's a
He's never
conversation.
been like to shit the bed in a role,
Yeah.
but he sort of got pigeonholed in a lot of sort of romantic comedy or romantic drama sort of things. It's just not up my alley. Sure, I've seen him, but he's really kicked out,
He's talented.
and
Yeah.
branched out in character work, and the action comedy stuff he's got going on there is fantastic.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, correct me if I am wrong, but he
You're wrong.
plays the stunt man of the actor in, I think, right?
Yeah,
In Fall Guy.
because the actor
he's
like
the-
gets killed or something,
or gets
like, in
kidnapped or something, and he's got to
something
go
like
find
that.
him. Yeah.
Didn't they find him dead in a bathtub or something? And
I
then-
don't know, maybe. Oh yeah,
hold
maybe
on.
they did.
Yeah, maybe in the first trailer, I think they showed something like that. It doesn't matter. It's Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt.
Yeah, no, it's the star
You don't
going
need-
missing. So Colt Seavers is a stuntman who left the business a year earlier to focus on both his mental and physical health. He is drafted back into service when the star of a mega budget studio movie, which is being directed by his ex, goes missing. And this
Oh, yes.
is
Emily Blunt's
this
his ex.
is not an
director.
original script. This is based on the old school 80s, late 70s Fall Guy TV show with Lee
There was a
Majors.
TV show.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely was. Let me actually
Interesting.
see. Yeah, I remember watching it. He had a badass brown Bronco in it. That was one of those cars that should have been one of those iconic deals. Like, like
Yeah,
the
I see it
Starsky and
here,
Hutch car.
81 to 86.
Yes.
The Fall Guy. Interesting. Okay. So they've just
Yeah, so-
basically redid it into a movie. Seems like.
Yep. They Baywatched it, but hopefully they did a little bit better for it.
Hey, I
It's,
liked Baywatch. I thought it was actually pretty good, man. And the
thought it was
banter.
fun.
Yeah, like it was fine. It was what it is, right? But the banter between The Rock and Zac Efron made the whole movie, I think.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
but-
I thought they did a fine job with it.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's shit on so much. Maybe it's people just hold the original in such high regard, but it was wasn't that good.
no,
It was
it wasn't.
silicone in a bathing suit. All right, you got another one for us,
Yeah,
Sebastian.
let's do it. And cue it up, homie. There we go.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, good. Fuck.
Guys, whatever's in there, it's big and it's moving fast.
This trailer made me mad.
I'm not gonna lie. Same.
Like,
It just seems too much of the original.
it's going to have two F5 twisters. I'll guarantee it. It's going to be ridiculous. They just got some pretty people to replace everybody. It's just
Calls himself a tornado wrangler. If you feel it, I said if you feel it,
It's the worst line.
I'm not sure I like that guy very much. I didn't like him in Top Gun, but
Well, you're not supposed to like him in Top Gun.
He just seems to play the same arrogant guy in everything.
She's gorgeous.
You thought
Yeah.
you could destroy a tornado.
We never had a chance.
See, that's the same as the first.
So is this a
movies,
sequel
right?
or is this a remake? What is this?
It's a reimagining, I think.
Ugh, I'm so out. It's not Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt.
I mean, it might be good, but
That's not going to be good. Maybe
I have
Moonfall level
concerns
bad.
over it.
You ride him.
Dodge commercial already.
It's described as an update to the 1996 film. So they're dancing around remaking.
I have strong feelings with Twister, and I don't think it should have been remade or added to. Or
At least
whatever.
change it a little bit, right?
Is that it?
Right?
Nope.
But it seems too much of the same of
Yeah.
the original, right? So what's the point? Because the original was just fantastic. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
In redoing it? You know, it's you didn't miss anything in the first one. It's not like, oh, I wish we could have done this, or I wish the
Right.
CGI was better, or
Yeah.
I wish the story didn't work out the way I wanted it to. But the first one is great on its own. I don't think there's a need to
No.
update it, right? So
Well, I think
It'd
it's
be
just
like-
a case where we made a bunch of money with this back in '96. Let's give it a try. No, it doesn't need to be done. I think we've discussed this before, where it's maybe we stop remaking good movies and remake good concepts that were bad movies, right? Sarah thinking the first one was perfection.
Well, it's just running
It's
out of
good.
ideas to make a movie. So let's just reimagine good ones from the past. It's just the same shit.
And I
Plaster,
think they're going the wrong
plaster
way.
in pretty people, have some fancy CGI, and make the story completely dumb. And then
yeah,
that's
you know,
all
you're
you get.
right though.
Nobody dies.
You are right. Like the actor Glenn, I can't remember his last name. It's like
Me either.
Glenn Howard or something. I can't
something
remember.
like that. Campbell or
But
something. Not Campbell,
Hamill, yeah.
whatever.
But they basically just said,
Powell,
do
Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell.
Powell,
They
thank you.
basically said, do exactly what you did in Top Gun, except you're a tornado wrangler now. You're playing the exact same character,
Yeah.
and he seems like note for note the same cocky type thing. I think he's a really good actor. There's a movie that just came out, which I haven't seen yet, but he plays a different type of person in that movie. It's the one.
Anyone but you, I believe, is the one you're talking.
Yeah,
to. His IMDb up.
It looks
Yeah,
really good, actually.
Show me something different from him, and then
Yeah, so they both have exes that are going to the same wedding,
Oh,
I
I've-
think, and
I
they
think I've seen the
both
trailer for that.
decide to be together, and
Yeah.
it actually looks pretty good. So,
Yeah, and they didn't get along, so it's one of those odd
but
couple
you know they're going to
stories,
get
and
together at the end.
I haven't seen it yet, but
Don't
that's
ruin it,
exactly
Sam.
what I was going to say.
It's
is
a
they're
rom
probably
com. What do you think happens?
right?
It's the
Exactly.
same recipe for all rom coms.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a good rom com, but you know, it's like anything else. They're going to rehash it. Sarah's yelling at us for spoilers, but we
I
just
haven't
said
seen it.
we hadn't seen it yet. It's not a spoiler; it's a prediction. To paraphrase Mr. Heyman.
So it seems like the CGI is exactly the same.
Yeah.
From the original one. It's not like you have a new CGI in the trailer that you're like, holy shit, this looks awesome. Right? It just seems like it's the same CGI. So it's like, what's
to
the
a
point?
point where if you told me they just CGI'd over Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton's face
You
with the
could
news,
buy it, yeah.
I'd probably believe you.
Well, there was a few subtle differences, like with the truck having those things to anchor it into the ground. So it seems like, and I don't know.
Sarah's got a good point. Wrong kind of disaster movie.
Right. It's just they're mixing the old stuff with the new. He's got a truck from the 90s, but they're using drones. It's the same Dorothy they use to capture all the information, but it's 2020, whatever. Like, come on. Like, there's got to be a better way to get the info out of a tornado instead of driving into one and anchoring your truck down and hoping you survive.
I mean, it's gonna make its money because it's drawing on nostalgia for people, right? And so some people are going to be like, sure, I'll go see it. The first one was good. Let's see this one.
But does Twister have that nostalgia draw like some of the movies they've redone? Or
I don't think so. I think
in the case of
it's
Star
a
Wars,
standalone movie. Like, how do you
remade again and
Yeah.
just put the same, let's do the same formula, but it has the Star Wars IP, not Twister was just like a mid-90s poorly rated movie that us mid-40s people love.
Mhm.
It seems to be kind of like almost a niche movie at this point. Like it's
Yeah,
a
I
cult
mean,
classic, right? It's
cult
a
classic
big,
would be.
a big budget cult classic.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a
But-
cult classic. It was pretty popular when it came
I
out.
don't know how rewatchable it is.
Twister.
Oh, it's very rewatchable.
We
mean-
have answered the fan.
We've gone over this.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I love
she's-
Twister. I've seen it a
she's
million
angry about
times.
the remake,
I mean,
not our conversation. I'm sure she's on board with the conversation.
I mean, Twister, the original Twister is a subpart movie with some great CGI. Let's be real here,
Whoa,
Sarah.
whoa!
I'm just
okay.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Whoa,
Just kidding.
now
Here's-
let's just
Just kidding.
No, I agree with you.
It was a good movie. Like I don't.
Twister is not one of those ones that you see on TV a lot, which is weird because there's
what?
4,000.
It's on all the time. What are you talking
Is
about?
it?
Oh,
I
on
yeah.
the
never-
wrong channels.
AMC plays it like every weekend. It's always
Matt,
on.
if you watch something other than the WWE network, you'd find
Well,
that there's
that's
other
the thing,
things on
right?
TV
Like,
that
there is other
Wow.
things on TV besides wrestling.
And
Mister.
I've been finishing off True Detective. All right, we're
Oh, is it
okay.
good? We're on episode 2.
just kidding. Apparently
And
the one with Jodie
You know-
Foster is really good.
I guess we're
on
going up
episode
in
2 or
the-
something. It's really good. I like it.
True Detective.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, the Night
I
Country
never,
one,
I
I
never
hear it's
watched
really
the
good.
last one. I only watched the first. We only watched the first 2, and this one it's interesting. It's an interesting sort of setup. I don't know anything yet, but please don't spoil anything for me. But
No, the last episode apparently just came out. I'm going to be watching that this weekend.
Nice.
The 3rd season is really worth your time.
is it really?
Especially if you sat through the hot garbage of the 2nd season.
Yeah, I heard the
3rd
second season is just atrocious.
Well,
it's
and it had
not-
like Vince Vaughn being serious, and it doesn't work. Like it's just like, well, what do you
Dude,
do?
the
with
first
it?
season was amazing.
Yeah, the first
It
season was
set the bar.
phenomenal.
It set the bar too
First
high. The
season-
first season.
The 3rd and 4th seasons are really good. I don't think they can touch the first season because
No.
of the way it was done.
Not much TV.
you
Can
know what?
touch the first
We
season.
can get into down the road.
Fair.
We're creeping
All
up
right.
near an hour, so you got another
We
one
are.
queued up?
Yeah.
Keep going.
This is the one that the trailer surprised me the most because I had no interest in seeing this movie until I saw the trailer.
Uh-huh.
So here we go.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Are you familiar?
Yeah.
Honestly, this is one of my favorite franchises going because they've just really hit it out of the park and
This one,
reimagining it
yeah.
and fleshing out
Their time,
what they couldn't
humans
in the
were
60s and
capable
70s.
of many great things. They could fly like eagles fly.
Maybe they'll have the Spaceballs giant vacuum head down on the beach at the end. That'd be cool.
Coming out of the nostril.
Yeah. Spaceballs? Oh, shit.
Is
We're fucked.
our time. And it is my kingdom.
I know you get a glimpse of the story in this trailer, and I'm actually for it. So
Yeah, it looks really good.
Will learn, I will learn. And I will conquer.
Hopefully all the humans die. That'd be nice.
Legend says ape and human lived side by side. Impossible as that may seem.
Why do they hunt her?
She's smarter than most.
The elders did not tell us everything about this world.
Bend for your king.
Apes hunt humans. That is wrong.
Together, you will die.
No, together, strong.
I feel like
Thoughts, boys?
I feel like low key, well, not low key, but I feel like this movie will
Low-key.
surprise
He's
a
not
lot
in
of
this.
people. Low key, I think this is going to be a lot better than a lot of people are going to give it credit for. I just have a feeling it's going to be a phenomenal movie.
I
It
hope
just
they
seems
design,
like
I hope they've done it right. Yeah.
yeah, there's a hint of a really good storyline with like the past of humans and apes coexisting together, and there's deception in the rank of the elders, and I don't know.
Well,
Sorry.
They really get to a point where the human traits that we could probably do better without of conflict and aggression really start seeping into it. They really show the evolution and it's a legitimate beef as the humans get scared and
Yeah.
are attacking the apes or trying to do research on them. This is an interesting franchise. So 2001, we had Mark Wahlberg try to reboot it with Helena Bonham Carter. Didn't do that well. It really didn't. It wasn't terrible, but it didn't do great. It took him a decade when James Franco starred in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. We saw how the apes got their intelligence. They had a good story fleshed out for it. And then 3 years later, we got Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. We had some Gary Oldman in there as well, and Kerry Russell, and that sort of showed the rise of the conflict after the apes had left San Francisco, and they were fine. They were cool just being up in the Northern California mountains, and they were good. And then humans went and fucked it up. And then 2017, the War for the Planet of the Apes was phenomenal. Really enjoyed that. Really kicked up the basically it's a movie about genocide. One species is going to stand, one's going to fall, and and then finally it's been 7 years and we're getting this. I'm for it. I've really enjoyed the flesh of this whole concept.
It does look good. And I had no vested interest in it until I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh, this trailer actually piqued my interest, which is good. I mean, when you're already set on not seeing a movie and then the trailer turns you around, that's saying something about the quality of potentially the quality of the movie. But the trailer is fantastic, I think.
Yeah.
So
and I think this is a prime example of what Mike and I were talking about with Twisters, where it's I realize that the original franchise had some good stuff going to it, but when you went back and you were watching the stuff from the 60s and 70s and say the 80s and the 90s, it didn't play well. Nostalgic, great. That time frame, I'm glad you guys liked it. But with the fleshing out of this, with the details, with the ability to not have dudes in rubber suits doing it too, right? This is the concept. This is fine example of what we were saying, is take something that didn't do as well as it should have, reimagine it, flesh it out, release it to the world. And that's what they're doing. And I'm fucking here for it.
Yeah, it seems like the story might be taking a full circle turn where, the humans start rebelling against the apes now and starting to take some back. That's just my prediction.
I'm going to recommend, I know you have a lot of free time. Go back and check out. Maybe skip the 2001.
I seen the first two. I seen the first one, and then I seen the one with Caesar in it, which I think was Rise of the Apes. Only reason I watched that one is because I was actually in that movie. I did a bunch of background work for that movie, so I got to stand next to Draco Malfoy for a couple days. Because he's in it, right? He does, he's the assistant in the lab, I think, that it kind of terrorizes Caesar, I think. Yeah.
And you got your 8 thing coming in quite well this morning. And but go back and watch War, because Woody Harrelson, shockingly, Woody Harrelson knocks it out of the park. I know he never really shows up and puts in good work, but he really killed it.
Yeah, he's no Nick Cage, but he's a good actor. So
how dare you say that wearing the Ghost Rider sweatshirt, you bastard?
Every week we got to throw in a Nick Cage reference just to get Matt.
Nick Cage has won an Oscar for Best Actor, and not
one time.
One
time.
So
he also gave you Ghost Rider, so there's that.
That wasn't all his fault. Ghost Rider's so bad.
Well,
no, he was a terrible.
He's either a hit or a miss.
We're just at an hour,
Okay.
and
I got one. I got one more. I got last one.
Let's
Okay.
hammer out
One more
another
left.
one. We can get into this Nick Cage
Yes, I
shit
know,
later.
too.
'Cause-
I want to watch this.
It's not it.
Oh,
It's a
thank
different
God.
one.
Oh,
I haven't seen the first one or the second.
We need to rectify that, Mike. I haven't seen it either,
Oh, good.
but I hear it's amazing.
I know, that's what I've heard too. I think I want to see it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all in for this. Like, weird aliens come and kill everybody. That's
And you can watch this one first, because technically it's a prequel.
exactly. Maybe I'll do that. I'll watch this one first, and then I'll go watch one.
Quiet
and two.
Place second.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But what a concept, though! Like,
Yeah.
just brilliant. Absolutely.
It's definitely a high concept idea.
Yeah,
What if we have a horror movie but you can't speak?
yeah, and it actually
they're-
does well, and people
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
in.
so in.
I'm in.
Cheers.
okay. So do I have this right? Where neither of you have seen the first two?
That's correct.
I watched the 1st
Let's
one
just not
came out 'cause
comment on that.
it was one of those things. Everybody was watching it. I'm like, okay, let's see what the hype is. And you guys nailed it. Like, it's a fantastic concept. Like, it really is. It was
Oh, yeah.
really well done. Especially considering what's going on with Krasinski and Emily Blunt's family as the movie takes place.
Yeah, I have
don't
no
know.
reason to as why I didn't watch it. I just
Just
didn't.
It
just
just
didn't-
slipped.
didn't-
Happens.
my kids were
It didn't
little.
happen.
We
Yeah.
don't watch those movies in front of them, so it's just like, well, I guess we'll never. It was on the list. We just never get to it. It's just like,
Mhm.
well, it's 9:30 and we're both asleep on the couch, and it's time to go to bed. And that's just
And that's
that,
when the kids walk in. It's like, cool, we can watch Quiet Place now.
right. Yeah.
But I mean, the cast is, Lupita Nyong'o from Walking Dead probably screwed up the pronunciation of that name. Like, really good pull there.
She was in the-
Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things, who has recently also gotten cast as the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four. He's been out there killing it since his run is in the last season of Stranger Things. And I mean, Jimon Hansu, like, does this guy put in a bad day's work ever? He's
No.
never really top of the call sheet, but when he's there,
well,
you get a
Yes,
badass
he has done
performance.
bad movies. He was in Rebel Moon,
Yes, he has done bad movies, but is
but he's
he
actually
part
pretty.
of that
He's actually pretty
movie,
good in
or
it.
Is he one of the ones in there that's like, okay, he went in there, knew the assignment, knocked it out of the park. I don't know what
Took the
y'all in
paycheck. See you
the
later.
special ops team did, but like, come on, guys. Like, it's never,
Yeah, no, he's good.
never really the one at fault for the fact that the thing sucks.
Blood Diamond is probably the movie that really cemented him as an A-list actor, I think.
Mhm.
So I
I
can't
agree.
really remember if there was one before that. I mean, he was in Constantine. He was in The Island.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's.
but
I mean, you look at it.
he
I
was
mean,
in Gladiator. Forgot about that. He was in Gladiator. I remember that now. He was
Yeah,
one of the
he was. He was
gladiators.
the-
Yeah.
He was the one that
Juba.
basically heals Russell Crowe,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy and Captain Marvel, and just when you look down his list as I'm doing, it is fantastic.
yeah.
I mean, some of it's not great, some of it's fantastic. Amistad is
I
where
was
he
going to
really,
reference Amistad.
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
and I think, and I'm just looking it up
Amadeus.
now, I think he won an award for that one.
He was nominated at least.
Might have
Yeah,
been
And I don't
Blood
think
Diamond as
Lupita
well.
Nyong'o was in Walking Dead, dude. I think you got that wrong.
I don't know.
Do I?
Yeah, she wasn't Michonne.
Oh, okay.
That was Denai Guerrero. She was in.
Yeah, that's right. She was in Black Panther,
Yes.
wasn't she?
Well, they both
Yeah.
were. They were both in Black Panther, but she was
Yeah.
also a Star Wars reference. She was Maz Kanata.
Oh,
In
that's
Force
right.
Awakens. Yeah,
Yeah, she
was
She
probably
did
the
that.
best character in the whole trilogy. Love Maz.
Yeah, you know what? I can give you a points on that one.
She should have been in it more. Like she was just cool. Like she was just awesome, and there was not nearly enough of her.
Yeah, he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Blood Diamond as well for the Oscars.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's
That's
some
all I
solid
got.
stuff there. It's not
solid
all of
shit.
them. There's some really good stuff coming down the pipe. I know we got to wait till July for Deadpool, which is really the one. But I mean, War for the Planet of the Apes is
That's the earliest one. That's in May, I think.
Yeah, and that's
So-
that's right in blockbuster season. You see it the last week of April, and then all through May and the first week of June is where you're going to get your popcorn movies because the weekends can be a little dodgy. So it's not all camping and out in the sunshine. That's going to fall off in June sometime, especially if you're in Vancouver, where it falls off sometime around August, and then the smoke sets in
Well,
from
you know.
the forest fires as we burn down.
You are right, though. Most of these movies are like summer releases because they're definitely queuing up for the blockbuster season by putting
Except
out
for
all the
Wicked,
trailers.
that's Thanksgiving, so that's November.
Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the other one. That's the family time dumping ground. November, December is where you see the second round of big blockbuster, big money films that they're looking for, as well as the Academy Awards last push to get released that year. So I mean, that sounds about right. The big family popcorn flick for in time for Christmas when you've had just absolutely enough of humanity and you want to spend time with your families, but you need them to shut the fuck up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're all May, June, July, basically. So Fall Guys, May 3rd. Kingdom is May 10th. Quiet Place is June 28th. Twisters and Deadpool are in July. Wicked's the only one that's far away. There's a couple of other trailers, but they're all animated movies. People can watch them all if they want. They didn't really pique our interest here.
Okay, just as a final note, we do have a question. I don't think it was a Super Bowl drop trailer, but can I please hear your opinions on the new Ghostbusters trailer? Boys, have you seen this?
Afterlife? No, sorry, Frozen Empire. I have seen that.
I haven't watched the
We
last movie.
talked about that a while ago, didn't we?
Well, let's talk about it again.
Yeah, I'm
can-
excited for it. I'm ready to see what they're doing here. I think the last movie they did a really great job mixing the updates with the nostalgia. I'm here for it. I mean, which is good because Sarah asked the question. There's good odds I'm going to the theater with the whole crew, including her, to see this one. So I'm ready for it.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts on any of this, gentlemen?
You can stream The Wiz on Prime or Apple. I'm so watching The Wiz. We're doing it.
The original.
Yeah, the Michael Jackson Wiz. I want to see this.
Yeah. You know what? That's I got both of those, so maybe we'll have a run at that too this weekend because
why
it
not?
is a long weekend here in BC.
Give it 10 minutes,
That's
and
true.
if you still stick around after 10, give it 20, and then it's probably no more than an hour and a half anyway. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
it's going to be what it's going to be.
and
Yeah.
doing some crack research, they just revived it on Broadway, and apparently it's not very good.
The Wiz.
Yeah, The Wiz, they've redone it on Broadway, and the
They're
reviews
trying
are
to
not.
double down on the Wicked.
Wow.
phenom,
Wicked's
I
done
guess.
so well for Broadway, right? It's been
Yeah,
huge
so
for
they decided,
long.
well, let's put out another one.
let's bring the Wiz back, and I don't. Yeah, they
Well,
say
I mean,
it's not very. It's wobbly at best.
yeah, wobbly at best.
Wobbly.
Fantastic. All right. And then just as a final note, happy birthday to my brother for tomorrow. Good luck with that. You lucky bastard. You ended up with an extra long weekend just because of the way the holiday fell.
What a guy.
And what do we got on tap for next week, gentlemen?
I don't
I
remember.
think it's book adaptations. So
Book
is it?
adaptations.
that's
Fantastic.
what's on the calendar. So
That's
and
what's on
then
the calendar.
of course the week after that is part 1 of our Oscars show, and part 2 the week after that. So, watch your Oscar movies, people, because we're going to talk about them.
And then in
Well,
April,
God
we're going to have a whole Kurt Cobain celebration. It'll be 30
That's
years
true.
since we lost him. So,
Yeah,
let's
get your Nirvana in.
You get your Nirvana. You know, I've been listening to a lot lately, and I'm loving it.
Yeah. So
And then sometimes towards the end of March, we'll be talking about my favorite holiday, WrestleMania, which is weird because there's some shit going on behind the scenes, in front of the camera. And unlike the last about 15 years, nobody's been announced for the Hall of Fame yet.
So let me
Normally
clarify. You'll be talking about WrestleMania. We will be listening.
You'll be asking questions, yes.
I will.
I'll
not.
throw in a
But
couple
Seb
of
can ask questions. I'm just going to listen.
I'll
And take
throw in
in
a
the
couple
information.
of comments to make Matt's blood boil.
Yeah, and
Because I'm so good at that.
sit down and do.
You are
too.
very good at making both
Okay.
of our bloods boil, there, young man.
I mean, I have skills. What can I say?
You know, I can piss him off, and
Yeah.
I welcome it. So so join us next week. We're going to talk book adaptations, and we're going to get into the Oscar buzz. Thank you everybody for getting up and sitting with us today as we went over some of these trailers. Please remember to do the like, comment, subscribe thing, and have a good afternoon.
And don't forget to have your pet spayed and neutered. Help control the pet population.
Thanks, Bob Barker.
Andrew Gray.
Beautiful.